what you have can be taken away. I have one question. Why would you let that happen? Seeing that it affects everything for the very least the next 1,000 years. Why would you joke about your next 1,000 years? I do not think that people who get ready for 4 years or 5 years or 25 years, 4 or 5 years of university education, but you do so many things to get ready for 4 or 5 years of university education. And all of that, you're doing it to get ready for 35 to 40 or 45 years of employment. So you have a job till you're 65, 70, where you may earn a pension or retire to some funds you have set aside. And you put in all this effort. Now, your only excuse may be ignorance, which won't save you from perishing. But one reason why we gather is to understand the future. We are living in the time on this layout called today. Yesterday I commented on it that we have roughly about 53 years left before we hit the 75-year mark, to what in the Gregorian calendar you called it 2075. The Gregorian calendar was counted from the time it is estimated Jesus died up. But it was a calendar that began in the 16th century. So in the year 15 something, Pope Gregory, now it's a calendar that is used worldwide. Today, we are in this rough space. After that, according to the book of Revelations 20, we enter a 1,000-year period. Now, everything you have done and you will do will affect what happens to you for a 1,000-year period. The book of Revelations 20 tells you that they will rule for 1,000 years. It's clear. Now, you either believe the Bible or you don't. If you do believe the scriptures and know that your actions today will affect you for 1,000 years, give me one reason how you were able to work so hard to gain benefits for 35 to 45 years and you be so careless about a 1,000-year period, which all happens before the day of judgment even arrives. Before the day of judgment even arrives. People tend to think, when I die, it's over. After death is the judgment. That's not what the passage means. You want to understand it, you have to read it from chapter 7, 8, 9, 10. You have to read the whole book of Hebrews, and you have to pay attention with this information I'm giving you. It is appointed unto man once to die. So what does that mean regarding Lazarus, who died, rose again, and died again? Or all the people in the Bible that were raised from the dead, are they still alive? Talk to me. So how is it appointed unto man once to die? I'll answer it quickly. If you read from chapter 7, you see that the Lord was talking about the high priest who went in representing the people. Hear me? He went in representing the people. Once a year, you see it, it's very clear. So when you go back, start reading Hebrews from about chapter 5 if you wish. 4 even. 4 talks about Jesus being our high priest, knowing our infirmities. Again, I read the book of Hebrews. The first time I read it through, I sat in a Catholic mass. From the beginning, by the time they ended, I'd finished the book. That's how you redeem time. Because the days are evil. I just sat there and finished a book of the Bible. It was most enjoyable. And when you see it all at once, it's different from when you see it in scattered pieces. One verse here, one verse here. What laziness has done to us, you cannot imagine. It takes away the man's whole inheritance. Just because he was lazy. And wicked. It is laziness that doesn't allow us to check things out. I don't mean things in the sky. I mean things on the page in front of us. It's laziness that stops you from telling your brother, sister, hey, let's be reading the Bible together. We are living in the same house after all. Or we are living far apart, but hey, today we are doing 5 chapters, 10. We've been doing 20 in this church group. We paused briefly. Let's cover hard things, not having strength for everything on earth, except the most important thing. Hoping when you stand in front of God, you say, Lord, you understand. He will understand nothing. You treat him like trash, he'll treat you like trash. You deny him, he will deny you. I didn't come up with that. Jesus would say these things directly. If you deny me before men, I'll deny you before my Father in heaven. What do you think about that? This is your sweet Jesus. He will. You think God lies? He says, you deny me, I'll deny you. This is not, we are not quarreling. You denied me, I'll deny you back. Say, is that not vengeance? Vengeance is his, says him. What's your problem? Vengeance is not yours, it's his. We have too many wrong ideas of our God. And there will be too much weeping and wailing. Let's at least remove the enemy called ignorance. Let's remove this first. Ignorance. Let's just take it out of the way. So after now, it's your choice. I saw someone wear a shirt yesterday. I can't remember. It said, make good choices. Do make good choices. Pastor Banky wrote a book called Choices, the Key to Destiny. Every time I say the word choice, it comes to mind. Your choice. Hey. There's the sovereign dealings of God, the supernatural interventions that makes you meet someone, that pushes you in a direction, that does this, that does that. That one is out of your hand. That's the kindness of God. That's the one talent that he gave you. That one has nothing to do with you. That you were born here, that you were in this meeting, that you're in this place, that you got filled with the Holy Spirit in secondary school, that man came, that woman came, that you had that neighbor that helped you read the Bible. All of that is outside your hand. What you now do with that, that's in your hands. That is choice. The master put the different amounts of money in their hand. That's not choice. What they did with it, that's the basis on which they were judged. Nobody will judge you for what you were given. I've told you, gifts are given. No judgment. Oh, wow, you have a nice watch. Come, you perfect. Enter. Your shoes are the bomb. Enter. You, ugly shoes, no shoes. Out. No judgment will ever be determined based on things you were given. There's no reward for what you were given. The reward is only with regards to what you did with what you were given. Understand it, child of God. Understand it. Whatever age you are, you're 3 years old, you understand English, don't forget these words. Ha! You wicked and lazy servant. They took it and gave the one with much, who had multiplied. For everyone who has will be given more. Did you hear that? What does it mean by has? Who has this passage disturbed? You want the interpretation? It hasn't disturbed anybody. If he's referring to the money they were given, it wouldn't make sense. He's referring to the profit from what you were given. That's what he means when he says, everyone who has. Haven't you read the story? So what did he have? The guy with 10,000, 10 talents, what did he have? How much? Only some people understand. The rest of you, please. Please. The guy with 10 talents, what did he have? How did he have it? Which one was his master's own? 5 originally. The remaining 5 is what he means by he who has. And he will have an abundance. So you will be given more based on what you did with what you were originally given. The extra, the profit. How does profit come? Proverbs. In all labor there is profit. What is the enemy of labor? Laziness. You can choose to labor or you can choose to laze. But you must do one. You must do one. You labor or you're lazy. If you choose to laze around rather than labor, what you have will be taken away from you. To be taken and given to the other one. But the one who does not have, we all know that the one he's calling the one who does not have had 21 million to 24 million. Yes? So why did he say he does not have? Because it's not his own. That's the one that was given. What you were given does not count. How many times have I said that? You were given a gift. Of teaching. Or I spoke about this yesterday, evangelism. And you went out, you had taken it a couple of times, and you notice when there are two of you, you go out, this one goes to talk to that one, this one goes to talk. Out of the 13 people you preached to, you preached to 9 or 10. The person with you preached to only 3 or 4. Out of your 9 or 10, 7 of them were strongly moved by God. You could see it. They accompanied you to the next Bible study they had in your church. The other person struggled and was trying to get results, especially since as you people will connect after entering a compound. You gist. You'll be telling the other one, do you know see the other one, this happened, that happened, this happened. There was, and this other one seemed more somber. I said the other one was not even listening to me when I was talking, was pressing his phone. It's a different experience. Now, if you don't understand it, set aside experience, set aside skill, set aside any other reason. The major reason why there is going to be a distinction is because this one has a gift of evangelism given by God. And you did this for a while. And then you buried it. Different reasons. Your pastor does not understand how gifts work. So he put you in charge of the technical team, locked you down, or gave you a job in the church office and tied you down with something that makes sure you're behind a desk from morning till night. And you too don't understand anything. You think your pastor will be sitting on the throne on the day of judgment. You left the one who gave you the talent and went and started serving the other servant. Yeah, the older servant that is in your house. But when they gave you. This older servant was to help feed you and encourage you and teach you the ropes and assist you. But he at no time becomes the master. At all times, the master is the master. The moment you take a fellow servant and make him the master, and I'm saying this carefully because I know many people, based on their knowledge or the lack thereof, they go and say, please, while they are still in training, they say, I know what God told me. I'm not talking to you. Don't take my words and put yourself in trouble. Don't take my words and put yourself in trouble. You should never. There's a time for everything. So there's a time Samuel is under Eli, and whatever is happening is happening. You're still being trained. You need an Eli to tell you that was the voice of the Lord. Even though Eli is blind himself, but he knows how it works. You need guidance. A time may come, Eli is no more. Clearly, he's no more. Then the Lord will push you forth in his time. But when that time does come, or even before that time, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to go to the person that is under you and say, I notice I have gifting and grace in this area. And he says, okay, good. So be going out now. What time do you think is best for you? Between 4 and 6? Every day, go and evangelize. So at least 3 days a week. That's the kind of mentoring and spiritual leadership needed in the body of Christ. Okay, you have prophetic giftings. Join this prayer group. That's why we have a prophetic intercessory teams. I said it yesterday, to sharpen their prophetic skill. The more practice, the better. Now, which part is the gift? These things I've said. Which part is the work? You going out 2 hours every couple of days and walking around on your legs while other people went into their room and said, oh, God,